Things happen when we get a freeze. Pipes freeze and people panic, but neither has to happen to you.
Getting prepared is easy. So easy, most of us put it off far longer than we should, and that's why we've invited Alan O'Neill from Abacus Plumbing to join us this morning with some step-by-step steps of pipe prep. It's easier than it sounds, folks.
It doesn't even look very easy.
Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
Doing well. So what materials do we need on hand when there's a freeze in the air?
You know, it's very important to remember, Charlie, that the most important thing is to cover the pipes.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be pipe insulation. You know, what happens is when we get a freeze, or there's the media go crazy and you know, tell everybody a week in advance there's going to be a freeze. And, of course, Lowe's, Home Depot, and all these places run out of pipe insulation.
Sure.
The most important thing is to get the pipe covered. Get something around that pipe that will protect it from the frost. Now, it's also very important to mention that if you're using a towel, a lot of people use old towels, that it's important to then put some plastic on the outside of that towel, because if it rains and then it freezes, that towel will turn into a block of ice and actually make things worse than if you left it unprotected. So the order of the day is to get the pipe protected, but make sure that whatever you protect it with it will repel water.
So it sounds like it's another job for duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape's, you know, we all rely on duct tape here in Texas, but duct tape is certainly a good, you know, put a towel around it and then duct tape it to protect it from the rain.
So is that foam insulation that you can cut, is that actually the best product if you can get it?
If you can get it, absolutely. The foam insulation, it's, you know, a homeowner can do it themselves. It's pre-split, and you simply open the split in the back of the insulation, take off the tape, and wrap it around the pipe. And it's, again, important to use the right size insulation. It's usually 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch pipe diameter. Get the right insulation for the pipe. If you're not sure what size pipe you have, get a piece of each at the home improvement warehouse. It's very inexpensive. And just make sure it fits snugly around the pipe, and then stick it together. You're done. You don't have to
What
worry
about
it.
the hose bib itself?
The hose bib, Charlie, there's a protective cover you can buy again at the home improvement stores. It's a couple of dollars. That is the best way to protect the hose bib. It simply slips over the hose bib, and there's a string you pull that secures it. That's ideal. If you can get those, they're perfect.
I'm thinking those are the first things to sell out.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why we tell people, you know, get yourself an old towel, cut up an old blanket, anything, wrap it around that hose bib and tape it, and just leave it there while the threat of frost is around.
Then you get like a supermarket bag and tape it over it so it'll keep it dry.
Absolutely, just keep it dry.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What else should we worry about besides the obvious, the hose bibs and the pipes? I'm thinking sprinklers.
Well, what cut everybody out last year when we had a big freeze was there's a check valve on the sprinkler system. It's actually a vacuum breaker. And it usually people will know it. It sticks up out of the ground. It's supposed to be 1 foot above the highest sprinkler head, so it's usually at least 18 inches, maybe 2 foot off the ground. And that's sitting on the side of the house typically. Everybody forgets to insulate that, including myself. I hate to admit, as a plumber,
Alan.
last year I forgot to do mine, and I get a phone call from my wife, hey, we have a new fountain out the side of the house.
Can you find us a plumber, Alan? Can you find us a plumber?
Who do I call? So,
Plumber, service thyself. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so
you know,
we'll make sure we
there's
drain those then.
Alan O'Neill comes to us from Abacus Plumbing. You can count on Abacus Plumbing. Learn more at abacusplumbing.net. Thanks for being with us, Alan.
You're welcome. Thank you, Pamela.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to say